Hello, this is Malice here. I thought for something a little different today, I would do a little kind of comparison video between the Inferno difficulty and the assisted difficulty last Nemesis fight. The main thing you'll want to keep in mind is that Nemesis in his final form will be much more difficult in both Inferno as well as Nightmare mode. Even compared to hardcore, I would say that Nemesis is a lot more difficult. So you just want to go into this boss fight with that in mind so you don't get too surprised along the way. For complete honesty, let me show you just how many times I died trying to get past Inferno Nemesis in his final form.
You are dead! Not a big surprise.
Yeah, so if you do this, just be sure you're not doing it at a time when you're extremely exhausted like I did at first. In fact, my best score came from the day after when I was actually in a much better mindset to get through it. So to get a break from all of me dying so needlessly, let's get a look at assisted first. As you can see, I completely emptied my inventory except for the handgun, which isn't even fully upgraded, some extra bullets, and one first aid spray. And that's all I used for this fight.
Now, this isn't gonna work.
Cooldown in progress. Please reactivate power sources.
Damn, it needs power. Felt that, did you? How about some more?
With the assisted difficulty, Nemesis moves extremely slow. So he's not much of a threat, and he only has a couple of clusters to deal with. The standard difficulty really wasn't too different from this either.
Two power sources remaining.
And in the time Nemesis is down, you're able to get 2 of the power nodes, whereas in Inferno or Nightmare difficulty, you could only get 1.
All power sources activated. Powering
You think I
up.
don't know how to fuck you up? Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
And that's what standard and assisted are like. It's more like a victory lap than anything else. Now, back to Inferno mode. Now, there'll be a fair number of attacks that Nemesis will use. So, as you can probably tell, the way I'm going about this is using the mind rounds out of the grenade launcher, as well as the magnum. So, as you can see from my inventory, I actually am carrying like all the coins, as well as the Stars Handbook. Once in a great while, Nemesis will do the sudden extreme release of acid as well as a yell.
Did you?
And this yell will actually stun Jill, so you just want to be really careful. When getting that power node in the back corner, just be sure you have enough time to get to it before he gets back up, because if he's completely back up and you're still trying to push that in, he can actually insta-kill you using that little arm that's right next to the pylon. So just be really careful about that. I got myself killed once that way, as you can see in the death videos. Now, if Nemesis lifts the claw to your left, you really want to be ready to dodge right off the bat, because that's his quick attack. He'll try to slam that claw into you like 7 times in a row. And actually, this is a bit easier to dodge in a lot of ways, because it's almost one right after the other, and that at the very end, he'll stop for 1 second, lift his claw up, and then hit you again. So that very last one can be difficult to dodge because he suddenly breaks the pattern. Now, if he starts with the claw on your right, it's a very specific pattern. He'll attack pretty quickly with that right claw first, and then he'll actually wait a few seconds before he uses the left one, and then he follows it up with a quick right claw right after. So you just really have to practice in order to get the pattern right, but then it gets easier. I would say that his slowest attack is actually what I like to call the lead-up attack. It's the one where he kind of pummels the floor quickly in front, leading up to Jill. So, especially due to that attack, it's good to stay closer to the back of the map, just so you don't accidentally get hit by that by being too close. But this is definitely one of the most easy to avoid attacks. So if you time the dodge really well, it's not hard to dodge. In fact, if you run quickly enough, you might be able to escape it either way. So again, with this one, if you time it well, it leaves usually a good opening to get an attack in. One of his slower attacks happens to be what I like to call the sweeping attack, where he sweeps his arm across the battlefield. Will either start with the claw to your left or the claw to your right. You'll want to be careful, because he'll follow up the last sweep attack with a quick attack with one of the claws. So it can be real easy to suddenly get killed right at the end of the sweep. So just be really careful.
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
I have to admit that even though I hated this boss at first, once you really get used to the moveset he uses, it becomes not quite easy, but it definitely gets easier and really gives you a sense of accomplishment. So that was Final Nemesis on Inferno difficulty. And as always, I hope everyone has an excellent evening, and I'll see you soon.